prevent injury, how to prevent someone from getting hurt. It's a very serious problem, as you'll see. The most serious problem of all of pediatrics. You would think it's pneumonia or cancer or heart disease. It's not. Those are very important, but the most common cause for children and even adults up until middle age to be sick and to have all kinds of problems are injuries. Okay, the number one problem. Okay, and if we want to focus on something that we can prevent, that's exactly what we should do, is focus on injuries. Of course, the other things are very important. We have to take care of heart disease and cancer and everything else as well. But to keep someone healthy so they can reach their full potential as a child is obviously very, very important job that we all have. The American Academy of Pediatrics is about 50,000 pediatricians. Most pediatricians in the United States belong to it. And as you see here, they have said that unintentional injuries, basically meaning accidents, are the leading cause of death for children after a year of age. The leading cause of death of all problems. And it's the job of pediatricians to talk about it and to prevent it and do everything we can to prevent these issues. Unfortunately, in the United States, the incidence of child abuse, okay, you could talk numbers, it's anywhere from 1 to 3 to 4% of the children in this country at some point suffer from some type of child abuse. That's an intentional injury or neglect or not providing food, shelter, and education. That's basically what child abuse entails. The majority of it is neglect and not providing the proper things for the children, but that's also providing supervision. And some of the very bad injuries that happen are because the children aren't watched properly. Okay? By age group, we have to do various things to them, and we're going to talk about that. And there's a very fine line in this country because there's so much child abuse that we, doctors, social workers, nurses, according to the law, if there's a question, just a shiloh of child abuse, we have to report it to the authorities, okay? By law, we don't have a choice. Just if there's a question, and then it's up to the authorities to go and to look into it. Why? Because so many children, unfortunately, die and are severely injured from abuse, you know. Be'ezrat Hashem, we won't ever see it, okay? But it's important to understand that that's the society we live in. It's a very difficult world. There are a lot of people under stress. I've seen many, many horrible things happen to children, intentionally, okay? And it's our job to help and work with parents and have social workers. So if you're getting into a situation where you're feeling you're out of control or there's a problem, which we'll talk about, you need to get some help before it gets to be a serious issue. God forbid someone should ever, hit a child or do something when they're out of control and leave a major disaster in our hands, which we see, unfortunately, very frequently in pediatrics. Be'ezrat Hashem will never see it from this community, but it's important to understand the things that create a suspicion, a problem, okay? And I'll go into them a little bit, but I also want to focus on what you need to do to keep you, yourself, and your children safe. Okay. The good news about what I'm talking about is on the bottom here, and it's actually even better news. It's more 50 to 75% of the injuries. We're not talking about child abuse, just injuries, stomazoi, regular injuries, are preventable, which is amazing. You can't easily prevent 50 to 75% of heart disease or cancer, okay, as you can this. Yes, you can prevent heart disease. Yes, you can have a healthy lifestyle and prevent cancer. But a lot of these interventions are simple, easy things that often we don't do. The keys to it are really having knowledge of what you need to do, education and training. Okay, I would suggest for the community that all the schools should have a safety officer, perhaps, someone who's knowledgeable and knows about these kind of issues for the children, whether they're playing in playgrounds, whatever they're doing, for nutrition, for exercise, all these inyanim. And that person at the school, it could be the principal, it could be the person in charge, whatever it is, that there be a specific person and people dedicated to this at the schools, because children spend a lot of their time at school. okay, and educating them and letting them understand that it's important to use their car seat when they get older. It's important not to drink and drive. There's many, many issues which can be actually developed within a school curriculum as you're learning everything else. As you're learning